In the deep forests where the moon barely reached the tree roots, the elven councils murmured of a threat from the humans. Among them was a young woman named Serenya, daughter of a sage who held an ancient secret. The council believed her existence posed a danger, for born with the mark of fire on her wrist, a symbol of union between two worlds, she could disrupt the balance that maintained the fragile peace between elves and mortals. It was then that Elandor, a young elven warrior, was summoned. Tall with a cold gaze, hair as silver as the dawn, and eyes as sharp as blades, he bore the weight of obedience to tradition. His mission was clear: find Serenya and end the threat before it was too late. But something within him already questioned his motive, like a dormant spark that had not yet awakened. Elandor set out at dawn, crossing misty rivers and hills where night flowers still glowed. He found her in a clearing lit by fireflies, her simple dress and her long brown hair blowing in the wind. Serenya was gathering medicinal herbs, and her deep blue gaze reflected innocence and courage at the same time. When she noticed his presence, she didn't run, just stared at him as if she already knew this meeting was destined. Elandor's blade weighed heavy in his hand, but the way she smiled, even in the face of danger, disarmed him more than any sword. Doubt arose in his heart. How could someone so pure be a threat? That night, hidden in the shelter of an ancient oak tree, Serenya revealed her mark. A flame-like symbol glowed subtly on her skin. She told him she was born of the forbidden union between a human and an elf, the fruit of a love that defied all advice. Since childhood, she had been told her life would be hunted, but she also believed her existence was a link between two worlds. Elandor, hearing her words, felt his conviction waver. He had been trained to obey, but his soul was already beginning to hear another voice, the truth hidden in her eyes. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, the council of elders gathered. Elandor, the eldest among them, insisted that balance depended on Serenya's death. "A heart that unites two worlds will bring only war," he said in a voice steeped in centuries of tradition. But there were others, like Selwyn, young and bold, who believed it might be time to embrace change. The shadows of elven politics loomed large, and as Elandor wrestled with his feelings, greater forces were stirring to decide the marked young woman's fate. Elandor knew that every step beside Serenya took him further from his mission, and closer to a path of no return. Her training echoed in his mind: obedience, discipline, honor. But when she spoke, it seemed the entire world fell silent to listen. He began to see her not as a threat, but as a flame of hope. The night he was supposed to kill her passed in silence, and instead of raising his sword, he vowed to protect her. His heart had chosen before his reason, and this would be the beginning of his own damnation. Soon, the council discovered the betrayal. Other warriors were sent not only to complete the mission, but also to punish Elandor for his disobedience. Forests that once seemed home became hunting grounds. He and Serenya fled under the moon, pursued by elven eyes that knew no mercy. Danger bound their hands, and each escape made clearer the intensity of the feeling growing between them. The flame of Serenya's mark burned brighter with each threat, as if responding to the love born in the silence between two hearts. In their escape, they found the Forgotten Refuge, an ancient ruin entwined with roots, where ancient stories were carved in stone. There, Serenya showed Elandor inscriptions that spoke of a time when elves and humans walked together before fear created walls. "My life is not a threat," she whispered. "It is a reminder that we can be more than we were." Elandor listened silently, knowing he was choosing not only between love and duty, but between truth and lies, between future and past. The chase culminated in a confrontation. Surrounded by elven hunters, Elandor raised his sword, not against Serenya, but against his own. Each blow was a confession of his choice. The battle was fierce, marked by tears and blood. In the end, Elandor emerged, his eyes filled with disappointment. "You chose ruin," he said, before issuing the sentence that would echo through the forest. Elandor would be exiled, and Serenya would disappear forever. Expelled, they wandered through unknown lands. Despite the pain, they found a new life among humans, where Serenya no longer needed to hide her mark. Love blossomed even in the scars of loss, and though they longed for the forest, they learned that freedom sometimes costs more than imprisonment. Elandor, who once lived to obey, now lived to love. Over the years, his story became legend. In the woods, whispers still swirl about the elf who was sent to kill and ended up loving. They say that on moonlit nights, two figures can be seen walking together, a flame glowing from their joined wrists. The council continued to watch, but the world never forgot that even in the darkest missions, love can blossom. And you, viewer, if you were in Elandor's shoes, would you have chosen to obey orders or follow your heart? If this story touched you, subscribe to the Elven Hearts channel and continue exploring the legends of forbidden love that stand the test of time.